Hey guys, today we're going to look at how to backflip like a gymnast. And I really want to show you this because I learned it in my backyard and it wasn't ideal. So we're going to follow Louise's steps so that we can learn to do it much more like the gymnast does it. And if you do this, it's going to help you so much with other tricks in other sports, etc. Have fun learning how to backflip. Hi! Before you even think about doing a backflip on skis, you need to learn it on trampoline first. And then I brought Louise with me.
Yes.
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm a former gymnast who decided that snowboarding would be a good idea.
Which trick did you learn first? 360s or double backflips?
Double backflips, like 3 years before.
She's a little bit crazy. In your opinion, why should you learn a correct backflip?
Because in the end, you're gonna have so much more help from it. You're gonna be able to do much more difficult tricks much quicker because you're learning it the right way from the start, instead of having bad habits for years like you.
You said we have simplified the process a little bit?
Yeah, well, we're just gonna do some of the most important basic steps to do a correct backflip. A little bit different from what you would learn at home.
Here's our goal, that we have a nice takeoff where we go from this position to completely straight, where we swung up the arms, and then have perfect timing with the tuck. So we do this on top to get maximum height. Now spot the landing and stomp it.
Okay, so now we're gonna do back roll. We're gonna focus on not going over one of our shoulders,
Which can lead to bad habits like crooked backflips that are not so sick.
but going straight back, using our hands, and landing on our feet and not our knees.
The key takeaways from the back roll is be prepared already in the beginning to protect your head. Use the arch of your back to help you roll backwards. And put those hands just next to your head and push down to make this more pleasant. Then land on your feet. What are we going to do now?
We are gonna jump up, land on our back on this box to practice the set of the backflip, to do it in the correct way, and to not have to do the actual whole backflip at once, because then you're for sure not going to have time to think about all of the stuff you need to think about. So we're breaking it down into parts.
Great.
We want to start out laying on our back, arms up, feet up into the air, to feel the position that we want to land in this exercise. Not like this. Positions to think about is your arms leaving, going straight up, your hip being straight, and as you go into the air, get your legs to follow with you.
Nicely done, Louise. But this is what it looks for me that's not a trained gymnast. I don't swing the arms up, that leads to losing height and less rotation later on. So this needs to be worked on.
Come back. So arms go all the way up. This is to stay. Good. And then straight legs up. Okay, one more time.
On top of just the body being straight, it's also important that you keep the head straight and you can put the chin down. This is also important. Here, I'm still a little bit bent, but by tensioning the buttocks and stomach, it got a lot better. Thank you, Louise, for cheering me on, but let's be honest, I need a few hundred more of these.
In the last exercise, we landed up on this box. And now we're going to show you the next exercise, which is basically back rolling off it to get a bit of air awareness of coming upside down and landing.
It's a little bit scary, so you also work on reducing that fear or learning to handle it.
Exactly. We lay down, we landed up on the box with our feet straight up and our arms up. Really important, arms up. And from here, we just pull our feet backwards and land. And we've done a backflip.
I don't think she needed your help, Jens.
What? I would really... No, but the spotting is pretty easy here.
Yeah, it's really easy to take your friend to just like hold your hip. Once you go around, if you think it's scary for the first time.
Put the hand on the stomach.
On the stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he couldn't spot me, it's not good. Shoulders out. Ta-da!
Now it's time for a back roll on a trampoline. Start out super small and roll. And be careful and protect your head. And then we're gonna make it bigger and bigger until it's quite exciting. You see how this is getting quite close to a real backflip now. But make sure that you land on the lower back so that you can roll backwards and protect your head just like you did on the normal back rolls.
Well, the thing is, yeah, if you don't grab your legs, it's easy to go like this with your back. So it's actually perfectly okay to grab your legs. We do prefer them straight to bend them.
As an added benefit with grabbing the legs is that you can pull the legs towards you. Make sure that you don't knee yourself in the face, so you keep them straight. That's going to generate some extra speed, but on the downside you can't protect your head while doing this. Be very comfortable with the small bounces before you start making it big like this.
That's a really common mistake, that people are like landing on their shoulder and like, I can't do it backwards.
Yeah.
So if you land too much on the shoulders, that bounce is then gonna make you bounce back up onto your feet. Also, if you drop your legs, this can happen even if you land nicely on your bum. So keep the legs high and you'll do a nice back roll like this. It's important that you have a friend that's ideally bigger and stronger than you to spot you. And this is best done with a belt or a towel around the body. Twist it real tight, talk together and say, I'm gonna flip on 3. So 1, 2, 3. And what the spotter is doing is that with the left hand she can lift me up, and with the right hand put it under the leg. I like to do it closer to the knee that she's doing here, and you can use that to flip the person around quicker. Try this many times until you're landing it every time and you feel good about it. Then you can do it onto a mattress like this, and it's important now that the spotter is really looking where you're gonna land and push the mattress under. This makes sense, but people don't always do it. Now when you've done that, you're ready to do some backflips without help.
We're ready to start doing the backflip. We're now going to take the stuff that we've learned from the previous exercises and use it here. So we want to think about our arms going straight up, being a straight line in your body when you're leaving the trampoline, and then getting your toes to follow more than your knees. If you follow with your knees, you pretty often do it like this. We want to get your toes to follow. So you keep your position, okay?
Okay.
To clarify what Louise was meaning with leading with the feet, you see her feet are never falling behind the body, helping her to jump much higher and get a real nice snappy rotation on the top. While I, on the other hand, has this weird takeoff, like a banana. And the feet are really far off, and it makes me jump less high and gonna cause a lot of problems. I even thought that looked good, so have yourself filmed so you really see what's going on. Several attempts later and good tips like tensioning the buttocks and stomach made me have a straighter takeoff. The arms were still not perfect. Here is the color yellow because I managed to lead a bit more with the feet, but still not that great. Basically, work hard on your backflip, it's going to be worth it. Here's me showing some common mistakes that people do, and they always lead to bad height, bad rotation, and they are quite easily fixed if you have yourself film yourself or go back to the basics and practice the takeoff. As a summary, you need to go from this position to completely straight at the takeoff. Have the feet lead, grab the knees so you tuck on the highest point, spot the landing, and then you stomp it. Seems so easy, right? But it's not. Thank you so much, Louise, for helping me and you to learn better backflips.
Thanks for having me.
One most important thing.
Have it filmed? That's important.
Yeah, it is actually really important. All these things that we've been showing are like really small details. It's really hard to feel it yourself, so you probably need a friend or your mom or dad or sister or brother or whoever to film you so you can watch it and compare it to how we've been showing it.
And what should they avoid most of all?
Throwing themselves backwards without control. Everyone can do a backflip. Not everyone can do a correct backflip that will lead to double and triple backflips.
Sounds good. So over to the snow.
Yes.
Do some practice there. Oh, something I'd like to add. When we're out there skiing, you'll see a lot of laid out backflips like this. I'd say it's fine, but the more of the proper gymnastic style backflips you can bring into your riding, the better your backflips are gonna be, the better your flat threes and kangaroo flips, that kind of things are gonna be.
Exactly. Start out with doing them the correct way, not laying them out, and then when you're confident in doing them the correct way, then you can start laying them out because it's cool and it's a really nice way of doing it. But don't
great.
start that way.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go riding now.
Yes.
It's a shame you're not a skier.